Hey guys, today's video is going to be on the Fitbit Flex. I have had it for about maybe 4 weeks or so. I mentioned it in the end of my beauty favorites for August that I did have it. If you guys were interested in seeing a review, I got a lot of yeses. So I thought I would share my thoughts with you. So I picked mine up at REI. It was about $100, I think $99, $95, something like that. It is the cheapest one in their little band lineup, and it's the most basic of the ones that you wear on your wrist. So this is what the band looks like. It's a flexible plastic. It does come with a large size as well. It also comes with this little gray piece that pops in and out. Those are the little metal prongs that go into your band. So it just snaps into place however you would like it to fit. And I've never once had it fall off on me. It is definitely very secure. I actually had a hard time putting it on because you definitely have to wrap your fingers around it and push it into place. You can't push it into your wrist. So you need to get your fingers in there and really clasp it on. The band goes in this direction. It has this one little flat edge here, and then in the back is where you have the actual piece of technology, I guess. And so this is something you can buy a different band. You can get it in pink or teal or navy or whatever you want to do, and you just put this little piece in there. This is also the piece you take out to charge it. So we are up close right now. I will show you what that looks like. And this you just pop in, and see the little lights there? You put it into a USB, whether you want to do it in your computer or in the wall there. There is a little arrow on the back and it tells you which way it goes in. It's very easy to put on. Now the fit on this I think is really nice. It's definitely not a circle. It's not going up and down your wrist with every movement. They make it in kind of like an oval shape, so it's pressed up against your wrist, but it's kind of looser on either side. You can also wear it a little bit looser. I actually like it a tiny bit tighter than that. And it fits really nicely and comfortably. Since I just showed you the charger, let's talk about charging real quick. I have an alert set up, so on my phone I'll get an email saying your battery needs to be charged, and so I know at the end of the evening I'll go ahead and charge it while I'm sleeping. And they say you should do that every 5 days, or that's the approximate, but for me that happens about every 7 days, so it's interesting. Now, it depends on how often you're using, the little touchpad to see notifications of what's going on with your walk for the day, etc. I really don't check it very often on here. It's something that I look at on the app or on my dashboard on the computer, but we'll get into that. So I have a daughter. She's under 2 years old. We use the stroller, or she will walk around town, but I'll normally have the stroller with me. So since I'm a stay-at-home mom, we are out and about most of the day when she's not napping or eating. We are out playing in the park, going through the mall, going grocery shopping. I'm within walking distance to almost everything, so we take the stroller out everywhere. The reason I mention this is if you are holding onto anything, if you're pushing the grocery cart, if you're pushing a stroller, if you are on a treadmill and you are holding on, it is not going to track your steps. If your hand is stationary, it's not going to understand your stride, it won't get your movement. And that makes sense to me. It's just something I didn't know before purchasing it. So the very first day I put it on, and I went for a really long walk in the morning with my daughter when my husband was sleeping in for that day, I had 1,400 steps. I was like, what on earth is this? I went miles, and it was because I was holding onto the stroller. So there are a few ways to solve that. I learned to push the stroller with my right hand. It's kind of difficult to turn corners, if there's a bump, if there's someone coming close to you. It's something that has been a letdown for me. So if my husband is out with us, he'll push the stroller so I can get normal strides. We were at Disneyland 2 days ago, and I felt like it wasn't tracking my slow steps. Like when we were in line for a ride, we were going kind of slowly. It probably wasn't tracking a lot of that. So it's a little tricky, but what can you expect from this type of technology? Do you know what I mean? Like if you're doing dishes, if you are dancing, it's gonna catch movement. You know what I mean? Like how can it catch steps by your arm without also catching crazy movements? Now if I'm talking with my hands like this, it's not going to count up in steps. I feel like they have a good idea on how to not count things that they think aren't steps. Now one of the things I really like is that it vibrates at 10,000 steps. I was actually shocked at how long it takes to get 10,000 steps, because we are, like I said, out and about a lot of the day, and sometimes I'll get home and I'm only at 7,000. I'm like, wow, it really takes more than you might think to get up to that 10,000. So it's really nice to have the motivation to keep going and to get back out, or after the baby's asleep, I can go out for another nighttime walk or run an errand, etc. You can actually check by tapping on your band. You'll have a couple of lights blinking up here, and depending on the amount of blinks or the amount of little circles that light up shows you your progress to your 10,000 steps. So you can get an idea on where you are. I'm only 3 lights now, it's only midday, but I try to get to that 10,000 by the evening. The way that you can check the actual number of steps is with the app on your phone or the dashboard on your computer. So if you're holding your phone and you click on the Fitbit app, it will sync with it and it'll update. So it'll talk about distance, it'll talk about calories, it'll tell you how many steps you've gone, as well as a food log, and then it has how many ounces of water you drink. Now, a lot of people enjoy being really hands-on. Some people find it as a complete shift in lifestyle and they want to be very involved in the app. And then there's me. I have found that it's a bit more than what I need. I drink a ton of water. I use one of these little Turvis cups and I drink like 5 of these a day, and that ups the amount that they're suggesting by so much that I don't even bother to track it anymore. But if hydration is a thing for you, if you don't like water, you can go in there and you can type in the number of ounces, or you can click up, etc., and you can keep track of your water count. The food log is also something that some people are going to find extremely helpful, and some people are going to find a little bit tedious. It all depends on where you are and how involved you want to be. So one thing that's really cool about it, and you've probably seen apps like that before, is that you can scan a product and it'll automatically just put that serving on into your food log. A lot of times I buy from Trader Joe's and they don't seem to have the Trader Joe's things programmed in there, so I have to kind of enter my own. But you do have a little custom log or a frequent log, areas that make it a little bit easier to add products you may have already eaten in the past. So there are a certain amount of calories you burn if you sit and do absolutely nothing, and then depending on your fitness level, the amount of calories you burn as a whole in a day. So the food log is very helpful if you want to watch every single thing going in your mouth and you want to watch how much you're burning off. And it's a mathematical equation. You cannot fail if you're logging your food perfectly and if it's tracking your fitness. Do you know what I mean? So if you eat a bag of Doritos yet you only log 1 serving, it's not going to do anything for you. You have to be completely upfront and honest with the amount of food you're eating. I recommend getting a food scale if you want to be precise about it. It really doesn't take that long to do. My husband and I have one just to get an idea of how much meat this is or how much cheese this is. It's helpful to have an idea of how much is going into your body. If you're into it, it really can be very helpful if you're interested in dropping the weight. Now me, I am interested in losing some weight. I don't have I have to lose 20 pounds by this date, and that's sort of where the app is going. It wants to give you a goal and it wants to give you a way to get there. For me, I want to lose a little bit of weight. I want to burn more than I am eating, but it's not that serious for me. So again, the food log is something I tried for a while, and then I found that it just took too much time for me when I have an understanding of how much I need to eat personally. That's my personal experience with the food and water log, but some people want to be really hands-on and involved, and it will be very helpful if you are trying to achieve weight loss within a certain amount of time. They also give you the option of making it very difficult or making it somewhat doable. So you have the option, if you want to lose 10 pounds by October 20th, the kind of hard version or the really hard version. And I recommend going in the middle. If you do the really hard version and they recommend you eat like 1,000 calories a day, it just gets kind of crazy. It might be difficult. That's a personal choice. I don't need to go into that very much further. So the Fitbit app also gives you badges and kind of like awards for getting to certain achievements. It also has a way to sync with your friends to do a more competitive thing. If you are really athletic and you want to see who runs further, it might be something that's great for you. And I like being involved in my activity of the day, and I like at the end of the day saying, hey, I think I want to push it a little bit further. Let me go out and walk a little bit more. I find it to be helpful, and I have been enjoying it. Those are my thoughts on the Fitbit Flex. That's how it's been working for me personally. That's my experience as a mom, my life right now. I hope you found it helpful. I hope that if you are starting a weight loss journey or a way to get more motivated and active, that this is something that can work great for you. You can also think about a pedometer. You can also think about the ones that are more advanced in this. Just think about what you feel and what you think would motivate you personally, and what information you want to know about your workout, etc. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. My channel is all beauty related and not so much in the world of reviewing fitness bands, but I hope that it was helpful. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.